welcome to International Cat Day. So today all of the stretches will be nice and slow and cat-like. So if you start with your shoulders, if you have got cats, they're just like quite luxurious in everything that they do. It's like they enjoy it. So you can do any of this workout standing or sitting. So we're going to start with those shoulders, and they're going to come slightly forward, up, back and round. And then we're going to stretch the claws and squeeze the hands in. So it's like you're stretching forward and pulling them in. So this is good for the fingers with a stretch and the clawing move. It's like anything that you're holding, like your handbag. But also if we're stretching forward here and pulling them in like a row, you're stretching the back of the shoulders and you're stretching into the front of the shoulders and the stretch a little bit into the chest. So that's a nice one as well. And then we're going to stretch up to the sky and imagine you're clawing down a pair of curtains. So the stretch up here, you'll feel in the ribs and the tummy, whether you're sitting or standing. So I always think, do what feels nice. So if you're happier sitting, absolutely. But if you can stand, you're working a little bit more into the core muscles. So that's stretch and pull, stretch and pull. If you want to work even harder, we're going to creep. Sounds awful. That creeping up, knee up, and the opposite arm. So like you're creeping up on prey, nice and slow. If you're standing, that's about 3 times harder. So get that engagement into the tummy, pulling the tummy button in like you're tightening a corset or a tight pair of trousers. And you might start small with the toe off the floor, just perhaps the heel off the floor. Yeah, see how that feels, and then just hover an inch off the floor. And then if you feel more confident, eventually the knee up. If you're worried about your balance, I always advise do the gentler version until you feel you've got enough core muscles. Lovely. So the fingers and the toes can do just a stretch and squeeze. So as if you're stretching your claws out in the feet as well as in the hands. If you've got rheumatoid arthritis, that often affects the smaller joints like the fingers and toes. So if you've not got your shoes on, you can see your feet spread if you've got sandals or if you're just in bare feet. So we just stretch and squeeze. So we're going to do a cat camel. So often if you've done yoga, cat camel's done on all fours on the floor, but if you've got arthritic knees, perhaps not. So I'm going to show you the seated version. You just do this in your chair, but I'm sitting sideways on so you can see. So we're going to have the hands on the thighs, and you're going to arch around, pulling the tummy in. I've actually got cat fur on this top, making a sort of C shape in your tummy, and then draw the shoulders back and look slightly up. So looking slightly down, breathing out, tucking the chin in slightly, but not so much that you cut off your air supply. We don't want that. And then that ease back up. You can do this standing as well. So hands on the thighs, we're going to bring the fingers together here round the shoulders, get that sort of C shape going there, and drawing the shoulders back. And on this one, you slightly tilt the hips back. So again, the standing version of this is about 3 times harder than the sitting version. I will show you the kneeling version, but you don't have to do this, particularly if your knees are achy. You'd be on your hands and knees like a tabletop position. You tuck your bottom under and inhale, allow that natural dip in the spine. Now you do not have to look up, depending on how your neck is. So sometimes it's nice to just relax the head down to look back through the knees without the look up. If there's no problem with your neck, you can look up on the in-breath and exhale, look down. The hips is there if you continue doing that. If your hips are sort of coming in that tuck up and under. So when they're tucked under, you should feel a stretch here in the front of the hips as your bottom scoops up like you're scooping ice cream out of a carton. Lovely. And then we're going to bring the arms out to the side, breathe in and stretch. Now obviously cats don't do this movement because they can't get the paws that way, but we're going to just enjoy the stretch. If you're standing, a little bend in the knees, get a little bit of connection into the tummy, and we're going to inhale all the way up and exhale all the way down. So the cat-like thing here is enjoying that stretch. So you know, when they stretch in front of the fire in the winter, or mine because it's been hot weather, have been outside in the garden, and you just find them on their back just stretching, sunbathing when it gets really hot. They're not daft, they're under a bush or something, so we can learn from them. It's like, don't get too hot, and in this weather really recommend just lots of rehydrating. So one of my clients brought me this Mad Cat Lady. So cheers, and I'll see you next time. Happy International Cat Day.